Hi, everybody. Hi, there you are. Yay. Oh, it's great to see you. Hi, and welcome to the newest edition of Open Diners. So inspiring to see you all. My name's Shelley, and Dan and I are your co-hosts today. But before we begin, just a few things to yay. Just a couple things to keep in mind. We're trying to create a supportive environment where we can connect above any differences. We want to stay on topic without criticism and avoid politics. Remember to mute your microphone when you're not speaking to minimize background noise. And if you can, turn on your cameras. And that would be fantastic if we could see you all. And please remember to keep your answers brief so that everyone gets a chance to speak. And we'll turn it over to the great Dan.
Thanks, Shelley. Okay, so let's start off with an icebreaker. Gonna do something super original here. New Year's resolutions. You have to do it every year so you know what you failed in miserably. You got to make sure that you have all that, down pat. So New Year's resolutions. What are your new?
How to not get fucked in the ass.
Oh,
Well, don't go to prison, especially for my guys under the age of.
Definitely a good New Year's resolution there. Okay, so whoever wants to start with their alternative New Year's resolution, maybe a little nicer, go ahead.
Well, I'll put a downer on it from the start. I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. I think, as Dan kindly pointed out, you set yourself up for failure when you make New Year's resolutions. So I don't tend to make them. However, I will make a promise instead. And I promise throughout the next year, I will try my very, very best to become a much better person than what I am now.
Well, I'll second it. I made a New Year's resolution about 54 years ago to never make New Year's resolutions, and I kept up with it. Yeah, that's mine. I believe that we can, like Rob said, promise or make a commitment, but yeah, I'm here 365, 24/7 trying to love, so I don't need a special day. Love you guys.
What a group. I never made New Year's resolutions, but with my daughter, what we actually start doing, and I don't remember, it was quite a number of years, already what we're doing, we're trying to go through a year, the most, exciting and not very exciting, but memorable events during the year, and what we would want to maybe improve or what we learned from them. It's just basically, it's a pretty good exercise, what you went through, and think about maybe how I can do it better next year.
I like that. I think you're saying about New Year's resolutions. I've been saying it for a while also, but to be healthier spiritually, physically, and also, like you say, Elisa, about having more experiences instead of things, because the memories last. So I'm with you with that. Have a good New Year, all of us.
I don't make. Oh, go ahead, Linda.
I don't make New Year's resolutions anymore.
I want to know if any of you New Yorkers go and see the big ball go down. Do you guys do that?
Hell no.
I did it once, and I vowed to never do it again.
I feel
Yeah, it's too.
Yeah, go
Sorry.
ahead, please.
Yeah, it's too crowded over there, so we try to avoid over there.
I feel for people, standing there for hours, freezing. I don't know even, I can comprehend how they do that.
My New Year's resolution was to never go to New York City and watch the ball drop. But I'm going to go to New York City probably next year. So I'll see you guys wherever you are.
Funny, every year at 12 o'clock, I say, oh, I'm gonna be there, get a hotel in the Marriott looking right over and have all the friends in a party. And then I forget, and then that's that. But it seems exciting to me, very.
That was kind of exciting, yeah. Nancy, did you do your New Year's resolution?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm on my phone instead of my computer, and there's something the matter with my internet. So this is running on the cellular, and I can't figure out how to use it. So if I mess up, please forgive me. I was going to say, I absolutely love watching the ball drop. I just watch it on TV, and I'm in Chicago, so it happens at 11 here. So I always turn it on and watch it at 11, and then we turn something back on to watch it at 12. So I think that's always fun. I don't know. I'm crazy, I guess. I don't know if I make actually resolutions like right at the time of the first, but I always have goals going on, and I don't think I've met one of them yet in I don't know how many years, but I always keep trying. And one of them is to like get my life straightened out, and one of those would be watch the calendar so I stop missing open diner meetings. Ever since we went to every other week, I keep getting it all messed up. There's too many other ones to even mention, so that one will have to do.
That was pretty good. How about Sulin? Got anything for this year?
Okay, good. No.
Careful, Nancy, your mic's on. How about Rono? Did we hear from you?
Thank you.
No. Hopefully you can hear me. My internet is really bad today. It's about finishing the one from last year, actually. And the one from last year was about putting a story out. Actually, I worked on it and it's ready, so I just need to put the finishing touches.
Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, Nancy, watch it. Your mic's on. Don't say anything bad about anybody. All right.
Dan, I've got one real quick. I grow some of my own food, and my New Year's resolution is to become more self-sufficient this year in doing that and helping my neighbors. I'm in a kind of a rural area, but help my neighbors become more sufficient in that way too.
Yeah, it's nice. Did the same thing. I put it in a greenhouse. Super fun. All right, we have to introduce the rules of the roundtable video. Rono? Or Rono, no. Rob, can you throw that up?
The rules of the round table. Around the table, no one is more important or less important. Everyone is equal and very important. We don't reject opinions or negate, but only collaborate. The real solution won't come from knowledge or verbal perfection, but only from our connection.
All right, thank you, Rob. So the video that we're going to be watching is a video on the benefits of kindness. Afterwards, we'll have a discussion about various aspects of kindness, its advantages and its challenges. So go ahead and play it when you can.
Sometimes it's easy to feel like the world's getting harder. But if we look closer, on the news, on the web, on the street, we're anything but unkind. Every day, we hear new stories of people trying to make the world a better place. And together, we can make the world that little bit kinder for all of us. It all starts with just one person, you. The thing about kindness is that it's just about the only thing in the world that doubles when you share it. And it's a fact, backed by science. Studies have shown that if you perform just one random act of kindness a day, you'll not only reduce your stress, anxiety, and depression, but your body is flooded with the same hormones that make you and the person you've helped calmer, healthier, and happier. Serotonin, which heals your wounds, helps you relax and makes you feel good. Endorphins, which reduce pain. And oxytocin, which reduces blood pressure and makes you feel more loving and loved. You'll both be more energized, feel less aches and pains, more confident, and could even live longer. And if other people see you helping someone else, they'll be filled with those same feel-good hormones, meaning they're significantly more likely to pay it forward. Like taking that extra moment to hold the elevator for someone, spotting a coffee for a stranger who's just a few cents short, giving your neighbor a hand with their groceries, even just smiling and meaning it. It doesn't take much, but it can make a huge difference for everyone. Those people you've helped will help other people, and those other people will help even more people. And those random acts of kindness can start a chain reaction that can spread across an entire community, a city, a country, and with enough of us, the world. Now, isn't that the world we all want? And it all starts with one.
Shelley, if you want to start the roundtable questions.
Sure, missing my cue. Okay, friends, let's bat this question around a little bit. What is the best gift you ever gave or received? What's the best gift you ever gave or received? And don't be shy. Let's hear it.
I'm trying to think of like the latest gift that I gave or received, because the best one, I don't know, it's been a long time. I gave somebody a gold coin because for some reason they really like gold. I think like just a small one, small gold coin. And that was really nice because it had what he liked in it, horses and stuff like that. And it was a Canadian gold coin, which are exceptionally good gold coins, I'm told. So that one I like to give because he really, really enjoyed it.
I think Susie here in Arizona, I think the best gift I've ever given was when my parents were dying and living at an assisted living facility. Mom was a lot of work, and I was the only sibling that helped out. And they had a Steinway grand piano, and I just kind of snuck down to just play and keep my, pretty soon every Friday night. And those people, they were so grateful. It was just, it was returned to me a billion times over. I mean, one old lady, I'll just say one, she came in and she had Alzheimer's so bad she didn't even know her name, and she'd been there forever. But when she came in, she liked "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," and so we'd all sing that till she was singing. I mean, just getting people to smile and to feel happy is just the best gift in the world. Thank you.
Do you all know what re-gifting is? When you re-gift a gift. Okay. I'm going to go with that because this is the best one. Rona, do you know what re-gifting is? Okay. The best re-gift I ever got was like at a wedding shower or something. It was my cousin, and she gave me this beautiful vase, and in the box was the card from her recent shower that she had. So I got two cards that day. One was on the outside, one was on the inside.
Well,
Nick, I think that does. Go ahead.
You want me to go? I'll go quick. It's very simple, but we're talking about kindness, right? I have got a long driveway. I have a driveway up a hill, and when I have my garbage pails, it's a pain in the neck to bring them up. And I remember I had sprained my ankle and I said, geez, I gotta go down. It was raining. And all of a sudden I did walk down limping and I come back, they're gone. I said, someone stole my garbage pails. So then I came back up and they were next to my house. Somebody brought them. I said, I was confused for like a month. How did they get? Was it the gardeners, the mailman? I was trying to thank somebody. And then my neighbor said in a conversation, she goes, oh, I brought those up for you. That was so, like, it was such a nice act of kindness that I didn't know who gave it. But now, because she did that, I look for her garbage pails when she is not able to bring them up. So now that created some kind of connection. But that was a very nice thing that I didn't want to do, wasn't expecting it, and someone actually did it for me. That was a nice, that's just something recent I'm thinking of, but garbage pails, go figure. Go ahead, Rano.
Like the best gift I've ever received was a wife. It was funny because I remember I was sleeping in a dorm after a convention and a friend entered the room. It was dark because everyone else was sleeping. He says, Warner, where are you? I have a bride for you. It's funny, but you know, that was the one piece I was missing actually. She's sleeping.
Yeah, I was thinking that the best gifts that I've ever received were my children. And yes, they were, by the way. And I've given some really nice gifts over the years to various people, but I think the greatest gift that I've ever given was I used to, I haven't been able to recently because of medical condition, but I used to go and regularly give blood. And that was really a gift, the best gift that I ever gave. And it was also the best gift that I ever received because the satisfaction that you feel once you've done that, just unbelievable. It's nice to see you back again, Sean.
Yeah, sorry, been a little bit late today.
You're forgiven, my brother.
Can I go next? I have been extremely lucky in my life. When you asked that question, I could think of so many gifts people have given me, all different, like some from strangers, from friends, from just happenstance. But the one that I think is the coolest for now is my mom had passed away and I was left with a house and I didn't know what I was doing, you know. Anyway, I was out attempting to cut my lawn and I saw a wallet and I took the wallet to a neighbor's house because that's the name that was in it. And I forgot all about it. And come that winter, it was really strange, but my driveway was plowed every single time it snowed. And I didn't have a snow blower or anything. So I was like so thrilled, but I didn't know who was doing it. And it was finally at the end of that winter, I found out that the neighbor I had returned the wallet to worked for the village. And he helped with the plowing when it would snow and he would plow my driveway. And it was all because I returned that wallet. I just thought that was so cool, you know?
I hope Sean saw the question we are actually discussing, not discussing, sharing basically. And I want to share that, I don't know, many gifts are precious, but for some reason, I just remember one, I was sick, I was in bed, you know, and I had a cousin who just started at the university and he was a couple years older than me. And he came to visit and he brought me books of Erich Maria Remarque. I don't know if you read him. I don't know. I think I got better like after the first book I read, and then after that I read every book of his, and he's amazing writer. And I don't know, the gift or the writing or I don't know what impacted me the most, but I was cured.
Well, I'm going to demonstrate what
Nice.
this is the best memory I ever have. This was in 1996. At that time, I work at First Army Bank. I just started my job in May, I believe. I got my MS degree in statistics, become a bank analyst. So that year, at the bank, we have a Christmas party. It's like a white Santa gift given. You don't know who gave you a gift. Everybody buy a gift about $15. You said, apparently this one have it's a rocking chair and also can play sound. I know this is at least $30, I would say. It's a lady bought it for me for my son. My son is 8 years old. He loved it so much. This is I got a very good memory. I still keep it. I had a great memory about this one. I don't remember what gift I give to anybody. I maybe normally I give to my son and my daughter certificate. Just I gave you say a ski trip to somewhere. That is a Christmas gift. I think they enjoy that. We go together to have a ski trip after Christmas. Yeah.
Did everybody go? Who have we missed? Linda, did you go?
I've been thinking. That's dangerous, right? I've got to say, the best gift I've gotten, if you could, I guess you could consider it a gift, was growing up where I did, when I did. Growing up in New York City in the 50s and 60s, it was the greatest time there. And that's all I can say is it was a great era and I had a great upbringing.
Nice, good environment. Did everybody go? All right. All right, next question. Does an act of love and kindness give you joy? Does an act of love and kindness give you joy? What does that feel like? What does it feel like to give somebody something good?
I'll go. When I was taking care of my mom and dad, we were talking about the ball going down. Well, 4th of July is really fun for me. I promised my inner child I'd always see the fireworks. Well, when I went to, I was sitting there with Mom and she said, oh, no, we just watch it on television. But taking her, now, the funny thing is she was pretty crippled and I thought, oh, maybe we should get on the floor in the living room and make sure we can get back up again. 4 hours later, so I didn't even think, but she cried just to be able to see the fireworks again. It was just so, and yes, it made me feel so great. So yes, answer is yes. Thank you.
I used to near us on the motorway, I think you call it the freeway out there, on the motorway, the big road. We've got a big bridge and there used to be a toll there. It's gone now. And I used to really enjoy paying for the person behind. I would just tell the teller, I'm paying for the car behind. At first, I just used to do that, but a few negative responses came. So I always then told the teller, I'm paying for the person behind and they don't know. And that used to give me so much joy to see the people when they pass and they're staring at you and they're trying to see if they recognize you. And, some people would come past and just say, thank you, chuffed. And they obviously thought, you paid for me. You thought I was someone else. I had one particular lady. She got quite abusive to me. But other than that, that still brought me joy. It still brought me laughter. And I think as a good example that, yes, when you purposely do acts of joy and kindness, of course, they bring you joy. It's inevitable, isn't it? So, yeah. Awesome.
I think also the remarkable thing is that the joy is on both sides, giving and receiving. Giving stays with you forever.
Yeah, I like that. It's like it creates a circuit. There's it's more than the sum of its parts. It's more than the sum of the giving and receiving, I think. Cool.
As a nurse, I always thought that being a nurse was not just giving out meds and, washing them, taking whatever. It was being kind to them, making them feel more comfortable. Because being in a hospital is not a pleasant thing. But just showing them kindness above and beyond kind of made me feel good too.
I was at my mom's not too long ago. There's an old guy, he keeps his house perfect across the street from her. And he's got to be about 90, and he was raking the leaves, and it was windy, he'd rake and then it'd blow. So I was looking out the windows, waiting for my sister. And I said, when she comes, I said, we're going to go down there, we're going to grab the garbage bag, and we're going to help him get the leaves in the bag. So as soon as I went downstairs, my sister goes, I know what you're going to say, let's do it. So we ran across the street, and there was an old German guy, he barely spoke English. I said, no, we're going to help him. My sister's like, don't worry. I'm like, he probably thinks you're stealing his rake and bag. He had no idea what we were doing. My sister's crazy like me, so she's holding the bag, and we raked it up perfect. My sister even took the bag, carried it in the backyard, and then we go walk upstairs to my mom. She goes, you guys are incredible. I never would think of doing. I said, it's the right thing to do. She goes, she was so, I think, more ecstatic that her kids did this at age, 54, 53, to do this. But it was, I didn't even think that it was, to me, it was a thing to do. But for my mother, she didn't even come across it. My sister already had it in her head. So did I feel good? I felt good because I think I showed an example to my mother to do something, not that the mother does very nice things for people, but to do something out of the ordinary. So it did feel good. And it was nice doing something with my sister that was to benefit somebody. And I'm sure the man, maybe he's still confused to this day. Maybe he doesn't know what happened, but I think he appreciated it too. So yeah, I definitely felt good. It was an all around good feeling.
Yeah, you remind me one thing which was so great. I still remember it was many, many, many years ago. I always took subway to go to Manhattan to work, and one day on the way back, quite a number of people are getting out at the same station, and as soon as I got out, it started raining. It's pouring, and I happened to have an umbrella. So I opened my umbrella and I'm walking, and there is a woman walking slightly, I think, a little bit ahead of me. And she didn't have an umbrella. She didn't have anything. It probably was unexpected rain. And I caught up with her and I put an umbrella above both of us. And she was so happy, to have this protection, and she was not scared that I'm doing that. It was quite a number of years ago. I don't know if it will go right now, it will pass, but it was so lovely. We walked almost to her house, we lived not far from each other. So it was great. Both of us felt terrific. And she wasn't, drained with and wet.
Go ahead, Sean. You can just jump in.
Okay. Of course, love, the act of love and kindness do bring people joy, especially people in a difficult situation. I mean, I remember a couple of weeks ago, there's a storm past our area and knocked down the power grid. So my whole house is dark. And at that time, at Onan, I could meet up with others. I told them, look, I'm out. I have an emergency power bank It can last about maximum 5 minutes to keep my PC on. So I gotta sign off. However, I still can use my cell phone. Okay. So I remember a couple of friends would keep check on me because I'm in dark, I live alone in dark, right? Low power, you don't feel good, okay? Suddenly you have someone call you and they say, "Are you okay?" Don't make you feel good, make you mind, it really uplift your spirit, make your heart so warm. So this. On the other hand, sometimes I got confused. I have 2 incidents. About more than 20 years ago, I lived in another house. I would late 1990s. So our neighbor sometimes we have a picnic together. It's good. My neighbor is a older lady, over 80 years old. I remember one of the winter we had snow. So I did not say anything. I just go to her house, clean her driveway, walkway for her. Because I was very young at that time, I thought it's not a big deal for me. And also, I thought I like workout, right? If I go to gym, it's better clean up somebody's driveway the same, you know what I mean? But I got confused. She seems not happy. I'm very surprised. I don't go. I don't know why. Okay, and this happened to me. I would say maybe 10 years ago. I new house here. Same. I have a lady who is over 80 years old, and slow. I clean her walkway and drive her. Seems to me she's not happy either. So I got confused. So from now I said, don't do anything. I don't want to make people unhappy. Maybe the thing I want to pay, they pay me. I never saw that way. I don't need the money, man. I have enough. I don't know why. I still got to it's always just make me think, what's going on? I do it not for anything. I just a labor, right? It's much older than me. Number one. Number two, I like workout. I work out every day. I go to gym. So shovel snow, that's the best time for me to work out. So I don't have any other purpose. I don't understand why they're not happy. Okay. So in this case, did not bring me joy. Okay, I felt a little bit confused, to be honest.
Sean, I agree with you, and Rob too. Sometimes when you try to do something for people and you get a funny reaction or a funny feeling or whatever, and you wonder what what happened.
Yeah, I still puzzle. What's going on? You know what I mean? Maybe the thing I clean for them. Maybe they think, okay, I have to pay. They have to pay me or something. No, I don't. I'm well to do. I don't need your money.
I
This
was
really. Go ahead,
I'm
Nancy.
sorry.
No, go right ahead.
Thank you, because I have to go 2 screens over to turn my mic on and off. That's why it's taking so long. Sometimes oh, now I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Like, no, I don't know what I was going to say. I'll just tell my story about one time. I didn't have a car for 4 years, and I received I get Social Security disability insurance, and so I was allowed to use there's a special bus, and I was allowed to use this bus, and it was great, So I used the bus one day to go wherever and come back. When I came back, the driver is this lady. I mean, she seemed upset or unhappy, and I just said hello. I always do that. I talk to anybody who's within hearing distance, and started talking. And she was having a really, really bad day. Everything was going wrong, and I just kept talking to her and saying stuff. And by the end of my ride, she went from seeming so dejected. She was smiling and laughing and seemed so much happier. And I just loved that, because I hated seeing her not happy, feeling bad. And it just warmed my heart to think that, oh wow, now she's not as sad, and she's a little bit happier now. So I think that's always a wonderful thing. Whenever, I don't know which is better, when you get somebody does something nice to you or you do something nice to someone else. They both have their rewards in their own way, I guess.
I got one real short. It's feels nice to give, but it feels even nicer to make a situation for people to be able to give. In other words, you, like my dad, he'd always had 3 jobs and stuff like that. When he got older, he really wanted a tip, and the siblings took all his money. And I said, no, I'd give him money because it helped him to be able to give, or put a microphone up at the 2 or 3 mics so that people can come up and they can sing a song. People love to give. We love to give so we can enable and help others to give. And joy just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
I think America is the most generous people in the world. Serious. For example, in US, we give tips, right? In restaurant, 15, now 20%. This is not happening anywhere in the world. People give tips is very, now become a trend. You have to at least give 20% nowadays.
And even if they don't do anything, now they add it directly to the bill.
Yeah,
I know, but
the
I know
direct
that
say,
generosity is kind of went out the window there, but
yeah, a little bit.
genuine
I think
giving,
you got overboard, I would say.
Should we maybe go on to the next question? And okay. Actually, there's one here that we kind of touched on, and that is, but we may have played it out already, is have you ever seen something well-intentioned and a well-intentioned act of kindness backfire? I think we've all seen that. But an interesting one, another question is, why is it that if giving gives us so much pleasure, how come we're not all doing it?
We are.
I'll just add, I think people, like Susie said, we're giving, but maybe we're not being really conscious of it. We're probably doing these small acts of kindness, but we're not really paying attention. It's not like giving a car or we're paying for tolls or different things friends said. But why I think people sometimes, maybe like Elisa touched on with the umbrella, what would happen today? We don't know how people react for certain reasons. I have to tell you a story. I read this article. I actually saw the video. In China, people are laying on the ground. Picture a crosswalk. People are walking, people are busy. And there's an old elderly person laying there. So I said, what is this, like a TikTok joke or something? So I read more of the article, watched the video. People don't help people in China because they're afraid of being sued. It's a major thing. There was a woman, she was getting off a bus. She broke her leg. So there was a nice, kind man came, helped her up, brought her to the hospital, got her to emergency, gave her a couple dollars to help her. Well, she got back. She needed surgery. She didn't have the money. She said he did it. There was a huge lawsuit in China. He became guilty. And I had to save this for you guys for this evening. The court said this was the answer why he was guilty. He says, no one in a good conscience would help someone unless they felt guilty. Meaning that's why he gave him money. So nobody, this is a fact. You look online, they're afraid to help people. So you have people wait there till authorities come and pick up. People just lay on the street. And that's why sometimes maybe why people are afraid of lawsuits or whatnot. I'm talking, accidents or getting involved in stuff. Just answering the question. That was the question, right? Why aren't we all doing it? You may be scared of lawsuits. It's possible. I had to share that with you.
Well, there's a lot of states, like I know in New York State, they have it. It's the Good Samaritan law, that if you help somebody, even if it's wrong, if you help someone, you can't be sued. And that's why I don't mind stopping and helping people.
And actually, what I meant, sorry, Dan, toward what I meant by I don't know how people react, because now all those viruses, I don't know if she would rather prefer to be drenched, or just walk near me, because she doesn't know, what will happen next.
Yeah, I think, look, I think kindness and giving is highly conducive to the environment. Roberta gave the example of China. This is also in certain states in America. It's exactly the same. The doctor tries to save you and you die. It can be his fault, or et cetera, et cetera. It's a whole bunch of stuff there. There's Look, hey, I know of people that had given somebody a ride home, from the coffee shop because they didn't have a car, showed up at their house with police cruisers in the driveway and were arrested for kidnapping. So it is completely dependent on the society and the environment. I would say there are some very, very dangerous places to be kind, right? And what is kindness? It gets complicated. If you're talking, I thought Elisa's thing with the COVID was kind of funny. Like, okay, during COVID, if you walked up to some people and gave them a hug, they would not see that as kindness. So you really have to understand who your receiver is, number one, and what they need, right? Which is highly complicated, what each person needs, for what. It depends. I mean, there's even stories where, someone literally puts somebody down to help them, to motivate them. Some people are motivated actually by having things by having themselves put down. Some people are actually motivated that way. That's how some people work. I actually have friends that are motivated very rapidly when you tell them they didn't do a good job, right? Hence, they do a good job and they achieve incredible things afterwards. This is a very complicated thing, this concept of giving, I think.
Well, maybe I want to make it simpler and turn it into, insight that I got. And it's not a backfire. It just, I think I got like a ding, or it's not a revelation, but at least I start thinking about it because, when I was in a grocery store, there was a lady and I saw that she had just one or two items and said, please go ahead in front of me, that, speed up the process for her. Apparently she didn't have a card for the store, and we chatted a little, and then when I gave a card, just again to expedite this process to help her, she didn't even acknowledge that. And when she was done with groceries and she was walking out, she didn't turn back and it didn't even wave or smile to me. And I did so good. I was so kind. I was so nice, and here we go. What happened? But it I was start thinking about, why did I do that? And why didn't I feel good? Because I wanted to feel good by actually doing something. That was I expected. I expected to a reward, which is just amazing thing to start thinking why we're doing all that.
Victoria, you can just jump in. I see your hand.
Yeah, I've heard situations where people did CPR and saved the person's lives, and they ended up getting sued because they broke a few ribs, So a lot of people are hesitant to help. So yeah, I think that was in New York City, if I'm not mistaken, or somewhere. Yeah, so people are afraid, to help. And rightly so. And another thing with giving is that sometimes like someone gives and then they're expecting something back, you know. Um, so then you don't want to, you feel like you don't want to give because you're feeling, well, they're gonna expect, no, yeah, they're gonna expect something, like the expectations back, Yeah. Like I feel there's no true giving unless there's like a get back. Yeah. I mean, to me, it's it's enough if someone says thank you, I really appreciate it. But some people want more, like they want to be taken out for dinner, or they want a tip or something like that, Yeah. So then you feel like you don't want to ask someone to help you. Yeah, that's it.
Hey, Victoria, how are
Hi,
you?
Sean.
Victoria in New York. Okay, here's there is a Chinese fable called Peasants and the Slave. I think America also have this kind of tale, right? So a slave in winter so cold, almost frozen to death. Farmer very sympathetic to the slave, pick him up and hold to his close to his chest, warm him up. However, after the snake warmed up and now back to normal, snake basically bite him. It's a fable anyway. This fable basically imply sometimes do good thing may not have a good return. However, this is very rare, all right? Like Rebota just said, the case in China, that's true, okay. In past, I would say 20 or 30 years, because Chinese society transforms so fast. Some people get very rich very fast. There are some people left behind. So sometimes people have that kind of psychological imbalance. You know, they saw someone they're the same level, suddenly become very rich. They're still poor. So they do it in the wrong way. Okay, this is what happens in a society. When a society is and the rich and the poor, the gap too big. This is what happened. For example, before, right, when I grew up in China, everybody poor. That's never happened in China. Okay, at that time, actually, people were always help each other. But nowadays, it's absolutely right. Nobody, you don't want to see somebody fall on the ground, right? You don't want to help him to get up because you get sued. They said you push him. That's true. Okay. So, but however, I believe those still are rare. Majority of people, you know, you do something, you show your kindness, act kindness, you get good return. Yeah, people thank you and appreciate that. That's always a, you know, outlier, extreme case. Overall, I believe act of kindness and love is a good thing. Is really good for society, for everyone.
I was just going to say that I really do think that giving, it doesn't seem like it to us, but I really think we do it to get something back. A thank you, a smile, some sort of a, I don't want to say reward, but in a way it is, but it doesn't have to be anything big, but I think we do look for that. And I think what happens when you do something for someone and they just are totally not grateful and we don't get that, I think that kind of ruins it in a way, you know? I mean, it does for me anyway. But now I tell myself, like, for example, I lent a friend $900 that I certainly didn't have. And I thought for sure I'd get the money back, and you know, well, he just kind of ran off with it, and that's the end of that. I just tell myself I did the right thing. It's my character speaking, not his. I did what people should do for other people, and that's pretty much how I kind of resolve it in my mind. Not that it's easy when somebody does that, but what else can you do?
I think this is a very good point from Nancy. I would agree with her very, very much. So I'm going to switch the question now because we're getting low on time and it's kind of a good segue. What role does intention provide in acts of kindness and giving? What is this intention thing?
Well, I think the intention is like, well, for this one, for me, I make an intention to be kind. And then I'm not, you know, if something backfires once in a while, it's so minuscule compared to keeping the flow going. You know, remember that pay it forward, you keep it going. So you just make an intention. Yes, I'm going to be kind. I'm going to love people. And maybe, you know, you'll see somebody and you'll be ready to give just because it is more fun. I mean, I don't think I'm giving so that I get blessed, but I know that when I give, I do get blessed. But I don't think that's my intention. I just really love to give because it's fun. You know, it does. There's a, we are love. You know, we're not just sending somebody love. We are love. So if we build it bigger, it gets bigger for us too. Okay.
You had some really fantastic answers for the last question, Dan. We can see why people are afraid to give. because there are scrupulous people out there who take advantage of it. There are people out there who are afraid themselves and they take it in the wrong tone. They're suspicious, so they accuse. So that's the reason why we're not all doing it. But I believe that intention is a powerful thing. And in order to win someone's trust, and in order for them to realize that you have no hidden agenda, and that, yeah, we all give in order to receive, as Nancy said, even if it's only a smile or a thank you, that's what we're expecting. But if we can change our intention towards giving and tell ourselves, I want to give, not to receive, it's impossible because that's the way we're built. But that will make our giving so much more blessed and so much more real. So yeah, I think intention is everything when you're giving.
Just to add, if you
Yeah.
go into it, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Nancy, go ahead, please.
Very quick. I'm sorry, Roberta. I just want to ask because I have never really understood this thing with intention. And if anybody can explain it, if that's off topic, then that's okay. But like I hear this a lot, like where intention is the most important thing, like your intention. But I don't get it because, hey, I have an intention every day to do all these things and I don't do them. So if somebody can explain, is that more like purpose than you know what I mean? And again, if that's off topic, please
I know
ignore
exactly
it.
what you're saying, Nancy. I'm with you. We'll do a whole show on it next. How about that?
Great. That
All
sounds
right.
wonderful. Thank you.
And Nancy, it's not just a little intention. I mean, when I do my meditations in the morning, it takes a long time to set that intention. You hold it and hold it because life is so crazy. So I think intention goes along with your prayer, and meditation becomes a big part of your life rather than just a little thing. You know, you work it into where you're getting from God every day.
Thanks.
I was just gonna add that if we start doing things without thinking about getting something in return, I mean, when we tie your shoes in the morning and you're saying, oh, I did this, or if, you know, it has to become like second nature. And I think it is a nature. You look at kids, they're not saying, okay, I did this and you're gonna, we became too much calculated. I gave this, now I need to get this back. What happens if, you know, and I'm sure many times during the day, you let someone go in the car or cross the crosswalk, that's still doing something with an intention with nothing in return. So if we start building on that, saying, you know what, I'm just going to be a good person. And when you lay in bed at night and whoever you pray to, if you even pray, or just think to yourself, I did something today that was beyond my nature or better than most people would do. That's what you wake up, you with yourself and your God, whoever that may be. That's the way you have to be and say, I'm going to be a better person. I did it for God, myself, and tomorrow I'm going to do even more. So that's how I look at stuff. Just an idea.
Just running out of time, so I'll give no, we've got to get moving here, guys. So Rob, can you play the sorry about that, Sean. Rob, can you play the next video? So this is sorry. Shelley gives an introduction first. A little ahead of myself there.
I don't mind a bit, Dan. You go ahead if you like.
Oh no, give your introduction.
Okay, here we go. Friends, let's watch this video about the intention of doing good to others. And doing good to others may be a little different than we think. So here's a great video on this.
When you say bestow or do good onto others, do you mean to send them good wishes, good vibes?
Where's this from?
This is from Yamara.
Is she a student or we don't know?
No indication. I believe it's from the YouTube chat, but
okay.
No indication otherwise.
Well, let's talk about what we think of as doing good to others and what actually is good to others. We are taught that actions are good deeds. Like if somebody is in need of something physical, if it's an emergency, yes, go do it. You know, give whatever is necessary. But when we try to do good in the world through, say, activism and charity and all those things, when you look over the long term, what happens with them, like in places like in Africa and all these places where we sort of insert ourselves and we're dealing only with the surface level needs, in the end, we actually weaken and destroy those people that we're trying to help. Because the impulse that is doing good did not come from an impulse in which, in the first place, in its inception, was a good impulse. See, we don't know what we're doing. We don't know anything about what would be good or bad. We only know that, well, I should do something. Okay, that's fine. But to do good to others means that we ourselves have to be connected to the upper force and act from an intention that is similar and, best of all, identical to that upper force. Because the way that nature works is it's not aiming just at one thing because, oh, there's a need right now. It actually sees and deals with the entire system all at once and for the good of the whole system. That means for us, we can't depend on our knowledge. We have to go to a place in us, through our connection with other people, that we actually reach a place where the outcome is in the initial thought. That good has to be there as a actual correct intention that is completely connected to the intention of the Creator. You know, I said before that our desires aren't ours and our thoughts aren't ours. This one has to come from the Creator, and it comes from the Creator when we cleave, when we're connected, because we have a quality so much like that, or so desiring to be like that, that the Creator's thought can actually becomes ours in an active way. And then whatever we think towards that person, whatever action we take, whether we understand at all what's going on or the complexities of the situation, does not matter. It will work out for good. But it's an intention. That intention has to be without self-concern. It can't refer to ourselves. It has to be completely for the sake of the whole system. How do you reach that? Practice, connection with others, learning the methodology, and studying so that we unlearn our egoistic, limited perception of what those things mean.
All right. Going down the rabbit hole with that one. Giving is not so easy. We want to give. We know that giving brings us a lot of pleasure and makes our lives better. However, there are both internal and external obstructions should we wish to give to others. In the future, as we learn more about the power of intention, we will understand how to use these obstructions in a positive way by working together and allow giving between us to flow like water in the correct way. All right. Thank you for joining us, everybody. You've been amazing as always, all of you. A few things to keep in touch with us. I guess you can play the music if you want. Join us on our meetup group. Follow us on Facebook. We must also post on Instagram, Nextdoor, Pinterest. If you prefer, subscribe to our email list for bi-weekly email notification about our events. Your email is never shared with a third party. Some of our old events are on YouTube, and this event tonight. If you want to share it with your friends, give the video a thumbs up if you could, and invite your friends to join us. We'll get this conversation started. Let's go down this rabbit hole of giving. Links here are in the chat. Thanks, everybody.
And kudos to Shelley. You're doing a great job, honey.
Yeah.
Good work.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
Christmas, Happy New Year.
Take care.
Thank you, friend.
Love you all
Thank
so
you,
much.
everybody.
For this new humanity.
Thank you. Thank you.
Find a way to feel it from the heart.
Happy New Year.
Yep.
Now
Tell Nancy, next
Thanks,
year.
everybody. Thanks, Victoria.
to love. With every breath we take, we journey to wholeness again and see the path behind every face. We pray that we can rise above the barriers we find and find a way to feel it from the heart. I like to think that everyone is waiting. Sometimes we don't realize how close love is. With open hearts, the boundaries are fading. Together in love beyond the veil.
Thank
Happy
you.